Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it. You already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye, bye. Let's get straight to the intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. So I did a video the other day about the shooting that happened, the murder that happened at a San Jose pizza parlor during a baby shower. Okay. And now some more details have emerged. In fact, a lot of people were tripping because the two suspects, the two individuals that were arrested in the following days regarding that shooting were older gentlemen, basically OG homies from Sanjo, OG Norteños, and the victim was a 17-year-old, a minor, Southsider, upstater from the San Jose area. But the complete story has come out. A lot of people were saying they took advantage of the situation because he was a youngster, that they antagonized him, that they literally went to this pizza parlor hunting for an individual, for a victim, and killed him. Okay, now the real story has emerged. I'm going to read you what is put out there so that way you guys know and get a better understanding of exactly what went down on that crazy day in San Jose. San Jose, California. San Jose's first homicide of 2026 happened during a pregnant woman's baby shower celebration. It seems like baby showers, babies' birthdays are becoming a trend. They're becoming a situation where things become a situation, right? According to newly filed court documents obtained, right, by this news station, the victim was identified as a 17-year-old minor named Kevin Morga Cruz of San Jose. Prosecutors charged one of the baby shower's guests, Jose Albert Flores, age 47, of San Jose, with first-degree murder. A second guest, John Anthony Flores, 43, of Santa Clara, was charged with accessory after the fact. So only one of the guys is charged with the actual murder. The other one is being given accessory after the fact, meaning he aided and abetted, helped him escape, helped him get away. That's what that means. I've been charged in the past with aiding and abetting a fugitive, to which I didn't know the homie was a fugitive. He was on the run, though, never let us know. And when they raided a house, I was able to beat the case because when they raided the house, was not my home. I was arrested along with them for aiding and abetting, was able to get a lawyer and beat my case because I was unaware that he was on the run. And second of all, that was not my home. So how can I aid and abet someone if I'm not aiding and abetting them? All right. Anyways, a detective wrote in a police report, John Flores is responsible for aiding Jose Flores to avoid or escape after the murder of K. Morga Cruz. The shooting happened while guests were gathered at Angie's Pizza located at 1535 South Winchester Boulevard on a Sunday afternoon. So they were having the baby shower at a pizza party. There was family, friends, associates. A lot of people were there. San Jose Police Department detectives report states officers found the teenage victim suffering from gunshot wounds near the front doorway of the pizzeria. So whatever incident happened, it happened right there in the front, not inside the pizzeria. The restaurant employee told detectives that Morga Cruz showed up at Angie's Pizza agitated because of a person who was inside. So basically, this youngster shows up, sees these two Norteños there, and does not want to go in, wants them to leave. Okay, he's agitated. He's upset because they were invited to this party, or were they? The teen wanted the person to leave, and he threatened to return with the firearm and shoot up the place, the detective wrote. The employee prevented Morga Cruz from entering the baby shower and immediately called 911. So they're saying that this youngster pulls up, sees these two guys or this individual who he recognizes as a Norteño, an enemy, and is agitated. He's upset. He wants them to be kicked out and left. Now, I'm sure these guys were either friends of the family, the people having the baby shower, or all these guys were either related in the same family or two opposite sides of the family or friends. Whatever the case may be, man, it got gang related fast, and he wanted them to vacate the premises, or he said he was going to come back and shoot the place up. While the employee was on the phone with 911 dispatchers, He heard gunshots, the detective wrote. The employee escorted patrons to safety by using the back door. The shooting occurred following an altercation between the victim and the two suspects, says the sergeant. The pregnant woman's mother told detectives that she hosted the celebration and gave investigators her guest list. Jose and John Flores were included on that list, so they were definitely invited to the situation, the police report shows. Detectives reviewed several video surveillance cameras. I tell you guys, everything's on camera. You're not going to get away with anything nowadays. One camera recorded video and audio of a heated verbal discussion followed by 4 gunshots. So there was 4 gunshots in total. They saw the victim immediately fall to the ground after the initial first 2 gunshots. So he was dusted after the first 2. The victim was already on the ground when 2 more gunshots were fired. Unfortunately, the guy went for the kill shots. 2 men who investigators believe were John and Jose Flores were seen on camera fleeing the pizzeria in the back of a 2013 Kia Optima. The Kia was registered to John Flores. Again, these license plate readers, cameras, audio, I mean, you're not getting away from something like that. Detectives dug into the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation's GPS tracking database for parolees, and they discovered Jose Flores wore a GPS monitor as part of the parole conditions. So he was on parole already, this alleged shooter, and literally had an ankle monitor while he's killing a man in front of a local pizzeria in front of 100 witnesses. That's not a smart way to do business, right? Jose Flores' GPS monitor showed that he arrived at Angie's Pizza at 3:05 p.m. Court documents state he left at 4:48 p.m. So he was there for a while enjoying the festivities. Around the same time as the shooting at 5:39 p.m., the GPS monitor was allegedly tampered with, removed, and ditched in the bed of a parked pickup truck. Smart. Throw that motherfucker in a truck going that way because I'm going this way. Police arrested John and Jose Flores on February 3rd. Before booking, both men went into jail. They have entered pleas and are scheduled to be arraigned on April 20th. Jose Flores was previously convicted of attempted murder in a prior case. Court records show if convicted of the new charges filed against him, he could face 25 years to life in prison. Now, is that first-degree murder? Or is that a situation where you're protecting yourself? Now, I know when I first did my video, I was pretty concerned with the fact that this was a minor that was killed by 2 older individuals. But let's think about what goes on nowadays. If your family or your friends invite you to a baby shower, a wedding, a quinceañera, a funeral, anything, anything like that, and you pull up out of respect, usually you go with respect. Now, why you're bringing a gun to a baby shower? Well, there could be 2 reasons. I don't see bringing a gun to a baby shower whatsoever at all. But then I understand this is San Jose where shootings happen daily, especially now. So depending upon where this was actually held and if it's a gang-ridden situation where there's a lot of gangs, obviously there was, I could see bringing a gun. But I, myself personally, would never take a gun to a situation where there's children present. We're talking about a pizza parlor, a baby shower. There's definitely going to be kids there. That's why it was held there, right? So to have a gun in close proximity to children, if it's not in your own home, in a safe, is kind of a bad situation in itself. Also, being a parolee that just paroled and was locked up, incarcerated, an active gang member allegedly on an attempted murder charge with GPS monitoring, it's like, when does it stop? When are you old enough to realize that's that already, But again, man, some people are in it to win it. Some people are stuck in that life and, it just is what it is. Being that these 2 guys are around my age, in fact, the shooter allegedly is the exact same age as me and it looks very familiar, like I might have done YA time with them or ran into him in San Jose once upon a time, but I can't say that I have, but just seems fucking familiar, right? You would think that he would know better. He would be gamed up enough and educated in the gang lifestyle to realize that this is just a youngster running his mouth. He don't pose a threat. He ain't going to do anything. Now, obviously, from what that report says, that young upstater, that young Southerner came to the party just like they were invited, not to agitate people, not to cause and create chaos, but to literally go to the party. When he looked inside and seen these 2 individuals, he must have recognized them, knew them, understood where they were from and what they were representing. That's when he became agitated. That's when he became a threat because he started to threaten these guys. Now, if I know older heads, because I am an older head, like I know older heads, these guys, I don't believe, went with the intention of hunting this guy down or even knew that this guy was going to pull up to the spot. Because if you've seen what I said, if you read what I said, if you listened to what I said, they were there for about an hour and a half before this youngster even pulled up. So did someone in this family alert this youngster of their presence and he came? Well, I don't think so, because if he did, he would have already had the thing on him. They did, or at least Jose Flores did, allegedly, right? And so when this guy started to get into the back and forth with these guys, the issue is that these two norteños came outside to basically, get at that youngster. Now, in that situation right there, nobody's checking IDs. If someone's threatening you and disrespecting you, and in the gang lifestyle, man, a threat can be a number of things. But if someone's straight up telling you, get up out of here or I'm going to come back strapped up and do something to you, at that immediate moment, they pose a threat. You don't know what they're capable of. Now, when he said, I'm going to go get a gun and come back, obviously you're aware that he doesn't have it on him, because if he did, with all that rah-rah, he would have let off and let loose right there, because he is basically saying, I'm going to retrieve a weapon, come back, and do something horrible to you. So were these guys in a situation where they had to act fast and get off? Obviously, I don't believe so. The man said he didn't have a weapon on him. This could have been easily handled with just words, a turnaround, and just like, man, you're a youngster, man. Get the fuck up out of here. Do what the hell you got to do. You already got yours on you. And when he leaves, you could either leave the situation or stand your ground and stay there and see what happens next. Now, me personally, if I'm in a situation like that, I'm going to go outside. I'm talking about while I was an active gang member. Nowadays, I'm leaving out the back with the rest of the civilians because I don't care, right? But at that particular time, when I was active and when I was in the mix, my thinking would have been, fuck this dude. He don't have it on him. Spaghetti-o, right? We're going to flat blast both of them. I wouldn't have shot anybody because there's no reason to shoot at someone that doesn't have nothing on them. Even if they're an enemy, I'd rather take it out with pain. Clubber Lang style with fists, right? Realizing that he's a youngster, if they were aware that he was a youngster, I would have did the about face and told him, kick rocks, poop butt. You're not on my level. And left it like that. Then I would have turned around when he left to go get the thing he said he was going to go get. I would have left, said my goodbyes to everyone, because I don't want to bring any type of drama to a place that frequents kids, civilians, and older people. Obviously, the lady who threw the celebration, she was older. That was her daughter's baby shower, right? So I would have just avoided the situation by leaving. I would have told my brother, come on, bro, let's go. You're not a sucker, man. You're not a punk. But see, nowadays, people are worried about what people think about them. It's always been like that. Not even nowadays, just always. If you're more concerned with what people think about you rather than the repercussions for what could happen. The city of San Jose is on fire. The city of San Jose is moving differently right now. Right now, it seems like shooting people is like breathing. It's normal. Okay? So the situation looks like, according from what I read, this guy made a threatening gesture, a threatening statement, and these guys came out to basically call him on his shit. And one thing led to another, and hot heads prevailed, and this man got shot 4 times. This is the situation where everybody involved fucked up. Okay? The 2 older gentlemen being gamed up should have understood enough to say, you know what? We shouldn't do this right here. There's too many witnesses. There's too many people. There's too much going on. We should get the fuck on down the road, and we'll double back later. Right? Or just forget about the situation because he's a youngster just running his mouth. He's probably not going to do anything. He's already agitated over some bullshit. You are mad because your opposition is at a baby shower. If you're that mad, that upset, you don't say anything. You peep the scene, you jam, you go get whatever you got to get, rally up your homeboys, come back and do your fucking thing. That's the era I come from. Nowadays, it's all about this. The verbalizations. Well, here's some knowledge you can't get in college. That's not knowledgeable at all, right? That's not being street smart, no gang smart. That's nothing. What that is a youngster who thought he was bad, and he fucked around and found out. These 2 older heads decided, hey, man, we're going to stop this situation permanently. Thank God that this was done in front of the pizzeria and not inside where children could have been hit by the bullets. Like the thing that happened in Stockton, where that's where you know the difference in generations, that these guys actually went outside. And for what all we know, man, they could have easily been just trying to talk it out and trying to discuss something, but that youngster wouldn't let it go, or maybe they wouldn't let it go. We can't put everything on the youngster because he's the victim here, and he is a minor. So he's not in his right state of mind right from the gate. He's a young gangbanger going in there, feeling some type of way about these guys being at a baby shower that they were invited to. Now, is the first-degree murder going to hold weight? Them 2 extra shots are going to hurt that guy, Jose Flores. Okay, I understand he could have said, man, maybe he thought that this guy said, hey, I'm going to pull my gun out. I'm going to go to the car and grab it, or whatever the case. And he felt he was protecting himself by getting off where he was mad at. But at the same time, once the man is down, going in for the 2 kill shots at the end, I don't know if he's going to catch the first-degree murder. I believe, honestly, just knowing the system, it'll probably be dropped down after this story has come out, and that the guy was threatening and saying that he was going to get a gun and come back and shoot him up. I think he'll end up catching the murder too, okay, the second-degree murder, because it wasn't like this was a planned-out situation. It wasn't like they lied in wait. It wasn't like they waited or they even knew this guy was going to pull up. It was a situation that just happened and unfolded organically. San Jose's dangerous. So I understand him having a gun on him. Now, having a gun on him, that's ex-con in possession of a firearm. Those are some other charges he's definitely going to catch. The parole violation on top of what I believe will get dropped down to a second-degree murder. Now, as far as his brother aiding and abetting him, that's going to stick. If you were involved in the murder, I am really, truly surprised that he is not being charged with the murder as well, because usually in the commission of a crime, if you're with someone, whether you shot or not in the state of California, you can be charged with that murder too. Let me explain to you a situation. I had homeboys from my neighborhood that I knew very, very well. One homeboy was walking down the street, down on his luck. The other homeboy picked him up like, hey, carnal, what's going on? He said, hey, bro, I'm down bad, bro. I argued with my old lady. She kicked me out. I got my shit stashed in the bushes. I need a place to stay. He said, you can go to my pad, bro. Take a shower, get right, eat, sleep it off, bro, and then we'll take you to your family or whatever you need to go. He said, man, my family, bro, they live all, down south in Southern California. Fuck it, bro. We'll pull up. It's whatever you need. You're from the hood. We got you, right? And they were talking. They started sipping. They went to a park. They met up with some chicks, whatever. The 2 chicks and them, they went to a store to pick up more beer. He sent the homeboy in. Homie's in his whip talking to these chicks when he hears gunshots. Pop, pop, pop. What happens is someone from Atwater came into that store. The homeboy shot him. Now, he did not kill him, but he shot him like 3 times. Dude hit him up. Hey, where you from, homie? From Dead End, Merced, whatever. Shootout. This dude gets downed. Doesn't die, but gets down pretty bad, right? They get away. They get arrested, pulled over. Everybody in that car got charged. Now, the 2 females, eventually they dropped charges, but they charged my homeboy, who was just an innocent dude giving his homeboy a ride. Didn't know this was going to pop off. Wasn't even aware the homie was strapped up. He ended up catching the charge with them, the attempted murder charge with them, and going down for it, catching a lot of time. And he was working, had his family, and was just trying to look out. So I say that to say this. Anytime there's a crime that's committed and you're with that person and you're knowingly involved, as far as this brother was, by giving him a ride, being there when he took his GPS monitor off. Now, this is all alleged because this is an ongoing investigation and they still get their time to shine in court, their due process. But I'm saying this is just a simple situation of how gang violence has affected just regular civilians and people and everybody. Here's 2 guys who pulled up, invited to a baby shower just to enjoy, probably with their family or friends, a good time. And another guy who definitely was involved decided to act stupid because his young mind and ways of thinking, he was so invested in the gang mentality and the propaganda that was fed to him that he felt like he had to, they can't be there if I'm here. Well, if they can't be there, if you're there, then it's your job, because you feel that type of way, to remove them from there. And in the process, he got removed from life. Fucking unfortunate. Anyways, that's the real story of what happened. It's an ongoing case. Don't be surprised, like I said, if that guy's murder 1, gets dropped down to a murder 2. And if the other guy is absolutely charged with murder for being involved to a certain degree to what he was. Aiding and abetting doesn't carry much time. Okay. Looking out, it's family, it's the heat of the moment, he's just trying to get him somewhere. He could say, I was scared, he had a gun, I didn't know if he was going to do the same thing to me, whatever. Or he could stay strong, hold his mud, and do his time like a real one's supposed to, right? It's just a very unfortunate incident. first murder in 2026 in San Jose. And then we know in the last 2 weeks, there's been others, a lot of others. San Jose is off the hook. Let me know if you know shit that's going down in San Jose right now, because I want to continue to do a segment on San Jose, Stockton, Merced, all these Northern California cities that are just off the hook, man, and give you my perspective on what I believe is going down, why it's going down, and why shit is getting crazy in 2026. With that being said, that's what really happened at that pizza parlor. And it's unfortunate that a youngster lost his life, but it's also unfortunate that these two guys that were just minding their own business were compelled to go that route. It sucks for everyone involved, especially for the family who's traumatized now. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. This video is sponsored by Vaudeville Liquors in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the area, pull up to the Vaudeville and tell Lali I said what's up. Also by 16 Stones Yard Service in the Big Bag State of Arizona. Go support your local businesses. Tap in with them, and they'll come hook you up. We got you. We got you.